Good afternoon, this is Mac Lacey. I'm at the Travel South Showcase in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm speaking with Kate Scopetti, who is president of the Mid-Atlantic Receptive Services Tour Company. And Kate, you have now had some exposure to a lot of West Virginia music and West Virginian destinations. And I know, in looking at your literature, that you're doing a lot already with the Crooked Music Trail in Virginia.
Right.
Do you see any similarities, any way to sort of bring West Virginia product to anything that you're doing?
Well, that's a great question, Mac, because it just did pop into my mind today. And I spent some time in between my appointments here speaking to some people in West Virginia, and particularly the Hatfields in McCoy, and the area of the River Gorge, the New River Gorge. It's very close to the Southwest Virginia corner where we've developed the Crooked Road Music Trail, so we can just skip across the border and maybe do some enjoy music that's a little bit different than the bluegrass music that they've experienced the few other nights before they get into West Virginia.
Right.
What we heard today at lunch had a little more rock kind of infused with bluegrass music. I thought it was fantastic, so we might try that. Yeah.
I'm kind of a music buff. If you run a program like that, how much music over the course of, I don't know how many days is that trip is, 4 or 5 days maybe?
Three night, 4 day, right.
Okay, how much music do you actually expose your travelers to?
On that particular program, every night, we have a Thursday night pick and porch program at Heartwood in Abington. Then we run over to Galax, Virginia. And in Galax, Galax, the Rex Theater. It's a live radio broadcast, as you probably know.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday night, we head over to Hilton's, Virginia, where the Carter family fold is. And the cottage has been moved to be right beside the theater. So those groups that are there can visit the cottage first, see the rocking chair that was Johnny Cash's favorite rocking chair when he was dating June, and then go into the performances there. We also teach them how to flat foot dance, which is kind of like clogging. It's a dance of a bluegrass dance. And then you kind of get up and dance with the locals. And the locals always invite the group in and are very curious about who you are and where you are from, very welcoming. So everyone has a great time.
Yeah, sounds like it. And then the next thing, I was speaking with Richard Lewis with the Virginia Tourism Office yesterday, some of the restored hotels in Virginia, and I see where you are doing the grand hotels of the Blue Ridge.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that trip.
Well, dotted along like I-81 and then down on into the Skyline Drive area are multiple historic inns, and it's such a great way to travel that area. It's so naturally beautiful, and then to have these regal buildings and hotels that have been refurbished into their kind of gala days is just marvelous. Sometimes we have a meal at some, like Martha Washington Inn in Abington, which is not necessarily large enough to accommodate a motor coach group, but a marvelous location for a historic tour of the inn and a meal. Across the street from Barter Theater, of course, where they can go afterwards. In Winchester is the George Washington Inn, which has reopened maybe about 3 years ago. Very gorgeous facility. Patsy Cline's hometown there as well, so we can bring in a Patsy Cline singer and impersonator for dinner after they've toured her home, which has been reopened. Homestead, moving on down. Homestead is located there, nestled in Virginia, kind of behind Stanton, almost into West Virginia, very close to the Greenbrier, where you can obviously stay overnight, or you can also just do the bunker tour and have a luncheon there. And then the Lake Lure Inn just south of there, which is where they filmed part of Dirty Dancing. So
all right. Well, it's great that you're kind of the tour operator voice for this conference anyway, and you've got a lot of Southern product, and the music thing just always kind of catches my attention. So I'm glad to know that that's a product that's really selling well with your groups.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Kate.
Thank
for your time.
Mac. Been a pleasure.
Again, it's Kate Scopetti with Mid-Atlantic Receptive Services, and we're at the Travel South Showcase.